Hi, I'm Kris Oldland, Editor-in-Chief of Field Service News, and today I'm pleased to bring you another part of my exclusive interview with Dan Sewell, the Chief Operating Officer for Espresso Service. In this part of the conversation, we focus back again on IoT, as Dan, Espresso Service and their partner Vendon are looking to completely revolutionise service delivery in the coffee retail sector. It seems as well, the way you've described this is very much customer-centric focus, but I imagine there's also financial incentives for yourselves as well here, because obviously if the more you move towards preventative maintenance, the less you're tied to SLAs, the easier it is to schedule and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying, right? That goes completely without saying. Ultimately, our nirvana is that our guys are sat in their vans doing nothing. That's where we want to get to, right? And of course, that's not the reality, because I've said already about preventative maintenance, but if we could schedule our guys in such a way that they were only doing preventative maintenance because there wasn't ever any reactive jobs, we get absolute efficiencies from them.
One final question. You've taken this step towards the telemetry approach, utilising the Internet of Things. A lot of companies out there, I've seen a shift across the last 18 months. So the question is no longer why we should do it, but very much how we should do it. Do you think that there is a need for the underlying technology first? So, for example, in this instance, having the Tesseract system embedded so you can feed that back. Is that the first step, and then the next step is telemetry and getting sensors on the assets? Is there a how-to guide? Is there a step-by-step approach, or are we still in a case of each company has to kind of work their own path?
Well, I think it's just my view, I hasten to add, but I think I can say it with a degree of credibility because I once was a customer. Right?
Yes, of course.
And I think that actually the key decision makers are often those people where they're the bean counters. They're the people that want to know they're getting their money back, right? So actually, for it to work or for it to be adopted, it needs to be done through the customer's perspective. What do they want?
Yes,
and I think if you think from what does a customer want to see, I've said already they want their machine working, but actually, if that's given, they want to see.
What do they want next?
They want to know what they're making from their machine and how it's performing right. But that's actually what they want to see, because if you're working in a restaurant, you're not bothered about you only bother when it's not working. Actually, what you're really interested in is when it does. And actually, if you can come up with a platform that connects everything in the most easy, user-friendly way, I hasten to add, because lots of these systems are quite complicated. You really want one platform. Maybe we've all got smartphones. I've got two, right? And we've all got iPads and laptops. But it needs to be something that's joined together, but actually you can log into and see really easily in one place. And I actually think that's key. It's having a view on who the end user is. And if you can come up with a platform that kind of ticks all those boxes, and that's why we're fans of the platform that we're working with. It's a company called Vendon, by the way. So we're their distributors here in the UK and Ireland. But because we're an independent business, and because we have multiple platforms, because we suit both user groups in my mind.
Yes.
Because we want to know mechanical data, because we might have a contract to fix the machine, but actually the customer, again, if you assume that's given, the customer wants to know the other set of data. Beverages per hour, all that kind of stuff, right? And actually, some of these platforms can actually also do inventory management. They'll actually tell you how much coffee they've used and how many lids and how many stirrers and all that kind of stuff. All really interesting to the operator, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But if you have one platform that does that, in my mind, is quite unique.
Yes, especially across a fleet.
That's key. And I want to emphasise that. You go onto the high street. You go to big high street brands. Typically, they've got only one machine type. Typically. But the moment you come to a mixed estate, which is often the case, some of these big pub chains are a good example of that. Through acquisitions, they'll have a big mixture of equipment. Well, actually, they want a service management company that can do planned and preventative maintenance, and they quite like to see that level of data, and we can do that. And the final piece to say is that, in my mind, the glue that sticks everything together. Did you know that more than 90% of coffee is actually water? Right. Okay. In fact, I think it's up to 95% if I recollect correctly. But a vast majority of the liquid in a cup of coffee is water. Right. People overlook the water filter because that often is what breaks the equipment. Right, through lime scale. You see it at home on your taps or in your dishwasher.
Yes, of course,
but actually, on an industrial scale, when you've got a piece of coffee equipment making hundreds of coffees a day, right, it quickly damages the machine and it quickly damages the quality of the beverage. Right. So we've also got this same platform. We're developing a product that will actually monitor the quality of the water going through the filter machine.
So another parameter there. A bit like I assume if the machine stops boiling at 100 degrees and drops down to 96, that'll talk to, say, Tesseract will schedule engineers to discuss. Similar concept with the line scale?
Yes and no, but often what happens is someone will sign up for a deal and they'll say, okay, yeah, I need a water filter, but they don't measure when it's exhausted. So they might sign up. Again, someone centrally might say, okay, yeah, we'll sign up for one water filter a year. That's all we need. But then, if they're really busy, then that filter might be exhausted beforehand, which means then you're getting poorer quality water into the machine, which means the machine is going to get limescale on it, which means the beverage is going to be of poorer quality, which means it's going to be more breaks. Wouldn't it be great if you could see and know how much water had gone through that machine and the quality of the water in real time? And then wouldn't it be great if a service management system through Tesseract could see that the filter had been exhausted, would order the parts, would raise the call, would send an engineer out, would invoice the call, all without doing anything.
And again, it's a case of trying to take as many, almost take the truck rolls, the expensive things for you as a service organisation is getting the engineer there, being able to put preventative layers in place. Exactly. So we're not waiting for the machine to break down, we're proactively.
Exactly, and on the same basis, you can say to the customer, look, you can see the same data. Yeah. Look, you can log into this site, and you can see what needs to be changed. And actually, so the benefit to the customer is twofold. One, their machine threefold would never break. Yes. Secondly, they get it changed when they need it changing. And thirdly, they might actually save money because they may want to sign up to do 2, 3 or 4 water filter changes in a year. Maybe they only need 1.
And that's Dan Sewell there from Espresso Service. And you can find more from this exclusive interview at fieldservicenews.com. And if you're a field service practitioner, so if you are responsible for managing field service engineers, technicians, if you basically look after a field workforce, then you really need to be subscribing to fieldservicenews.com. You'll get access to all of our latest resources, including independent research, plus white papers, webcasts, a podcast, and you'll also find all of the great thinkers writing exclusive articles for Field Service News. All you have to do to subscribe is click the link below, fieldservicenews.com/subscribe. Fill out a form, it'll take you about 30 seconds. And like I say, if you're a practitioner, then there is a complimentary subscription waiting for you. So I suggest you go and do it now. Anyway, my name's been Kris Oldland. I'm the Editor-in-Chief of Field Service News. We hope you've enjoyed this content and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.